Hello and welcome to Tiny Blue Games. I, of course, am Seesaw or Chris, and today we're playing Guild Wars 2. This is a bit of a follow-up video to our Guild Wars 2 Experimental Turrets build for the Engineer. The video that I think was posted about a week before this one, or close to. I'm not entirely sure, as a bunch of these videos have been made weeks in advance. I'm currently on vacation with Marks and Salvage in BC, so a bunch of our videos have been made weeks in advance and are now being posted as we see fit. So if they're not completely in a good order, we do apologize, but at least there's videos for this 2-week stretch. Back to the video at hand, we are seeing some gameplay with the experimental turret build. If you haven't seen the build video, I'll link it up above right now so that you can watch it first, and it probably makes a lot more sense. Or watch this video first if you prefer. What it focuses on is being a support player. The big thing is your turrets do give you buffs of sorts. Each one gives you kind of a different one. I believe we have one that gives us vigor, one that gives us retaliation, and one that'll give us the increased defense. Now, you realize here that we're having a bit of a team fight at the middle here. I'm able to keep a few people up as well as myself for a lengthy amount of time. However, they have a fair amount of support here as well. And you're going to see that, if you don't have enough focused fire on their support people, they will eventually take you out. And that's really the same with any build here. They just rush me at the end and decide to end it quick. So we take that death and we move on to the next place. Now, a great opener is actually dropping your supply crate as it drops in a few turrets, and then you add your own turrets on top of that. And there's going to be a bunch of buffs that are added to your team right away. Hopefully you have enough to really do something with it. Placing a big old bomb is great if you can interrupt the people trying to kill your person on the ground. I don't quite get it off there, but it often is quick enough to really interrupt them. And I've been on the other side of that, and when an engineer can plan it perfectly, it works out really nice. So that's one of the reasons to have the bomb kit on your skill bar. The other reason is obviously that when you're wearing the bomb kit, you're going to receive, I think it's about 300 healing of the amount of healing I've stacked up, as well as you're going to heal for about 150 every time you drop a bomb. So that's a lot of healing just ticking up just from that, not even including, your healing turret, and then the mist you can spray from the healing turret every so often. So eventually here you see me going one-on-one with the bunker warrior. The build he's running. He's got the conditions and the hammer. It's not a new build, and it is still just as powerful as before. You see here that we have enough survivability and damage that we are able to take him down. Unfortunately, the game does end at this point, but it's a small victory, right? Even if you don't win the war, at least you kill the person you were fighting. Trust me, because that makes me a lot happier than just losing everything at once. That's for sure. So we'll skip ahead here to the next game I played. We're going against a rogue, or a thief, I guess, in this game. They change the name of them every game, and it gets confusing. What we see here, though, is we're very capable of dealing with him. It's not... I don't know if this is a new spec that he's trying, perhaps, or something like that. We do pretty well against him. We're really great at keeping him out of the base, which is great. And then if we have our turrets here, they're able to, especially if we're incapacitated, stunned or something like that on the ground, our turrets are able to really help us while that's happening. You notice here I don't even use my healing turret. I just use bombs and such to keep my health up, which, does fine for me. I had no need to waste the healing turret for this part. So we do get him down eventually here with our thumper turret still up. Some options you could have would be to knock him out of the base and just let him struggle on the ground for a bit. I generally like to just kill them and not have it be such a terrible thing. So these guys grab the flag just before I'm able to get the stun off with that, which really makes a waste of my supply crate, unfortunately. And now she's reflecting my stuff, which I didn't catch on to until I shot my net turret, or my net. So she's built for carrying flags, obviously. We can see that with what she's doing. And then we have a rogue behind us that's really doing some damage. He's not able to kill me, though, and this time I do pop the healing turret. And you see how much healing we get there. He's just unable to cope with the amount of heals that are coming out, at which point he decides to run, because I think this is the same rogue as before, and he knows what we can do. So he's going to start running away from us. We use the net, followed by a knockdown to try and deal with him, but he does get into stealth. However, our big slam there does expose another rogue. And we start a team fight right here over the flag. Now, team fights are the bread and butter of this build. You have the buffs, you have the healing for your team. In the build, we do stack a lot of outgoing heals, so it's makes you a lot more useful if there's someone to heal other than yourself. So you do notice it a lot. So we got the one person on the ground here. You want to focus your stuff on as many people as possible, and I find often the best place to drop the bombs and the turrets and all that is if there is someone on the ground for either side. A lot of the team members from both sides are going to be in that area, so you want to really focus on it. Unfortunately there I didn't have my big old bomb. I should have used my knockback from my gun to prevent him from killing my teammate. Those are the two things you have to think about a lot when you're watching someone get executed, is the big old bomb, and then you also have the knockdown with your rifle. And that's why we take the rifle ultimately, right? For the mobility and the utility of it. So be sure to make sure you use those kind of abilities when you can. So you can see here that we're a pretty good spec for taking the little orb as well, as when we had our when we have the bomb kit up, we do take the heals, the 350 every so often, as well as we have the heals from the bomb. So if someone's chasing us, it's pretty good. And you can also slow them down with the bomb kit. It's great to just drop the bombs. Now, we do have a person here that I'm going to kill before I actually run it into the base, since she's low enough, and I feel like we're going to be able to do it before the enemy team comes. As a elementalist, she's going to have a bunch of survivability crap that we have to deal with. But, I'm sure you've all played the game long enough to know that that's something we have to deal with the elementalist. So we do take the base here, and we move on. This is me coming back to the base, and you're about to see a one-on-one with a necromancer. Which necromancers have some interesting builds these days that they didn't before. A lot of knockdowns being used, which I find very interesting. And they can really be bursty sometimes, which is interesting for me. However, as we did against the rogue, you notice that we already have his health down halfway, and we're by ourselves. So a lot of this is retaliation damage and the turrets. You do some good damage, which initially, actually, when I was building the build, I did not think would be a thing that would happen in this build. I really thought that, I was going to be just survivable and not do enough damage, but with the retaliation in that, you definitely do enough damage to be a menacing one-on-one fighter, and that's kind of what you want. You don't want to just be the group guy. I mean, maybe you do. Maybe you want to go to the center base each time, the keep or the clock tower or whatever, and just keep everyone alive. But I like the option to kill people when it comes up as well, versus just being the team guy. I like to have the option both ways, which you do at this point. So we're going to head back down here, and we're going to just take a look, but I think this is the end of the video for us. It's a quicker video. I'll have some more footage on this if you do like it. If you do like it, give it a thumbs up, obviously, and I'll be sure to post more videos on this build, as well as other builds. Yeah, we're just going to cap this for the win here. So this is pretty much the end of the video. I'd like to say thanks for watching, guys. If you do like our Guild Wars 2 content, be sure to subscribe. I know there hasn't been a ton of it recently, but we do have a bunch being made, as well as some that have been made already and will be released pretty soon. So be sure to stay tuned for all that, as well as WildStar footage. Comment on your thoughts about this build, or your thoughts on engineers in general. And thanks for watching.